Folks are bringing it now to the stage. He is the CEO of Galoy and also one of the creators and founders of Adopting Bitcoin. Please give a big warm welcome to Nicholas Petray, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, this conference has grown so much over the last 3 years. I appreciate every single of you to be here. Today we have 3 more reasons to be bullish on Bitcoin in El Salvador. And it's 3 announcements of things that we've been working over the last year. The first one is we are announcing the availability of, next slide please, Blink API. So we have a consumer wallet called the Blink Wallet, and a lot of people have come to us and say, hey, we would like to use the products that you have, but with an API manner. And we will have a different talk later today to dive into how you can use the API. The idea of this Blink API is to be simple, reliable, and stable sats enabled. So for people who want to receive Bitcoin over Lightning, for instance, but doesn't want to be subject to volatility of Bitcoin, StableSat is the perfect solution for that. The idea of the API is to be a bridge between the Blink wallet, originally known as Bitcoin Beach wallet, which is really a solution for beginner or new people to the Bitcoin space, and the Galoy stack, which is a way to build infrastructure for corporation. It's, the Blink API will be a way to have a hosted solution for, okay, I want to send and receive money over Lightning easily. I don't want to manage the liquidity. We're super bullish on that. If you want to learn more, you can go to dev.blink.sv. The second announcement we're making today is the ability to buy and sell Bitcoin from Salvadorian bank accounts. It's as being the main request that we have got in El Salvador, saying like, hey, you know, StableSat is great, but no, I really need, you know, to pay my supplier with like ACH, for instance. And so the availability of buy and sell Bitcoin will enable a lot of people living in El Salvador to just go to fiat payment wallet if they choose to. It's currently in beta, so please don't buy real estate just yet with it, but hopefully in the upcoming few weeks, we will be able to manage liquidity for any amount. Lastly, and I think this will be one of the biggest announcements of this conference, at least this is the biggest for us, we are announcing a partnership with Distributora Morazan, which is the second largest distributor in El Salvador and one of the largest distributors in Central America. The reason it matters is because they are working with 40,000 merchants and tienda over the country. So they cover basically El Salvador entirely. And without telling too much, we did surveys by talking to a lot of merchants. And the #1 feedback we got is that, look, for me, accepting Bitcoin is creating a hurdle for my business. The reason is that when I have Bitcoin, I need to pay my supplier in dollar because they don't accept Bitcoin. And so for me, accepting Bitcoin as a tienda is creating more friction than just getting cash. And this is why I'm not super encouraged to accept Bitcoin. And so we think through that. And this is why we have been working with the distributor to enable large-scale payments in Bitcoin for tienda all around the country. We have a fireside chat to dive more into that. So I'm welcoming to the stage Noor, CEO of Blink. Please, Noor. Giovanni Parada from Distributora Morazan. And also Rafael Verguera. All right, the floor is yours. Thank you.
All right. This is quite exciting for us, this announcement, this partnership that we have with Distributora Morazan. It's really, really a pleasure to have both of you here on this panel to kind of talk a little bit more about it. Why do you decided to do it? and tell us a little bit more about this partnership. So I'll start really quickly. I'm Noor. I'm the CEO of Blink. I'm also the co-organizer of Adopting Bitcoin. So thank you everybody for being here and for supporting the event. And I have with me Giovanni and Rafael, and I'll give you guys a minute to present yourselves as well.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Giovanni Parada. I'm the marketing director of Distributor Morazan. And my friend here next to me is Rafael Vergara, and he's project manager as well in our organization. Our organization is some 1,000 employees working in 2 countries for the time being, in Guatemala and in El Salvador. And what we usually do is we call on some 40,000 outlets, vendors, that are all over the country, all over the both countries, and we call them weekly, monthly, to sell our goods. And the goods we sell are mostly FMCG goods, products like big companies, and we are leaders in the store-to-store distribution in El Salvador.
That's awesome. And so you have 40,000 merchants across the country. How many products do you sell in general? Like, do you have a number?
We distribute to some 40 plus companies in El Salvador.
Okay.
From all over the world. We import products from states, yeah, from China, from India, from Guatemala, from all over the world, from France.
That's an operational nightmare, I can imagine. And specifically, like, one of the things that shocked me when I arrived to El Salvador, I've been here for 2 years. And I come from a country where most people don't even know what their own cash looks like anymore, right? They use cards, credit cards, everything is digitized, everything is digital, and the banks are just numbers on the screen, right? It's for us, it's fiat money. It's a form of a shitcoin. And then El Salvador decides to adopt Bitcoin, and it's the most novel, most innovative, most revolutionary form of money and payment rails. And there was a discrepancy between what people knew about money, which is something physical they have in their hand and they use constantly, and then Bitcoin, which is completely digital, and it was kind of hard to explain it to people. So the challenge that we faced when we were trying to talk to merchants, like, please accept Bitcoin, they were always telling us, hey, I have to pay my distributor, and my distributor wants cash, right? But you guys came to us and you're like, no, actually, we don't want cash. Can you just explain to us a little bit why you didn't want the cash?
We implemented Bitcoin payments since day one the law was in place. So we had a lot of work to do in the company trying to get all the systems settled so we could start doing it. I think it's a good initiative from our presidents to do this, and we need to take this chance and opportunity to maximize Bitcoin in El Salvador. And I heard someone there, I think Ms. El Salvador said that 90% of the people don't use it yet. And we are maybe ahead of other countries that maybe less than that is being using Bitcoins. But we need to be ourselves part of this effort and take this big challenge and take it to the next stage where people is also educated through us. We are a lot of people in the market every day that we can help educating people to use Bitcoins.
That's awesome. But can you explain a little bit more, how did it work to collect the cash from the merchants? Like when they were paying you in cash, like how did you go ahead and do that? Because that sounds very, very complicated.
Yeah, I mean, the normal process is most of the people pay cash, yeah? And this mutual effort we did with Blink and us, helping people to get the app, to recharge the app, to pay through the app, and our system allowed to pay this through this amazing technology of Lightning, which is quick and you can do a lot of transactions at the same time, because we have a lot of people taking money in the country from all over the country. We have more than maybe some 120 routes, salesmen in the country taking money at the same time. And it's a big challenge because people still keeps using cash, and the system is made that way. And we need to challenge that status quo. And I think people like you or Manuel that came to us with this idea, and us taking this challenge to change the status quo is amazing. I think, well, we don't have a lot of vendors now working on that, but they keep growing. And I think our objective is to have some good percentage of these people using Bitcoin through Blink in the near future.
That's fantastic. Rafael, did you want to answer?
Yes, well, one thing that mainly because settlement and reconciliation is very difficult made in cash, because first you have to collect the money, then you have to take the money to the company, then you have to sit in front of an accounting guy, and tell him $10 is for this client, the other $15 are for the other client, and so on. So when you use a wallet, a digital wallet like Blink, the reconciliation process is automatic. It goes through our systems, so we save time. We even do have a small bank branch inside of our warehouse to do that, because first you need to report to the accounting guy, and then you have to take the ticket and make a bank transaction. So that's gone with a wallet.
And the fees are insane with the bank as well.
Yes, yes. You have to sustain your local branch of the bank inside the company.
Yeah, I found that fascinating when I went to visit you guys for the first time, and I found out you have your own branch of a bank inside your warehouse. That shows how much like this was necessary for you to kind of maintain the relationship with 40,000 merchants.
Yes, and so I don't know how many of you have gone to the bank lately. Banks are also in the digitalization, so there are less cashiers. So it takes more time than before. So if you take a chronometer, one only transaction, it takes about 5 minutes. One of our salesmen has to sit for 5 minutes to wait to all the money to be counted in a machine, all the coins counted in another machine, and then a ticket, and then make the deposit, and then take it. So it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and what's insane also about not insane, but like it's unique, particular to Central America and El Salvador, is that companies have to declare their taxes every month. So all this process needs to also be reconciliated to be able to do what they call here the cierre at the end of the month. And that must have been also very, very complicated just to get everything set up in terms of efficiency. You have to think about it like most companies basically take the last week or two of the month just to do their taxes and reconcile between the cash that they're collecting and everything else. And that is just a nightmare in itself. And so to eliminate all that, obviously Bitcoin is a great solution for that. Did you know about Bitcoin? Like you said earlier, Giovanni, that you were one of the first companies to start accepting Bitcoin and implementing Bitcoin. What drove this decision? Like, were you guys aware of Bitcoin before the law or after the law? What happened there?
Yeah, I think we were aware a little bit before, but when we knew about the law, we immediately tried to comply with all requirements to go live on day one. We believe it is important in what you just said, in terms of the financial cierre that we call in our company and stuff, but as well the facility that you find in the vendors. I mean, how it's going to make their life easier. I mean, they are going to be using financial services for the first time maybe in their lives. I mean, when we talk about freedom, maybe this is part of the freedom we're talking about. and they were using cash all their lives. It's amazing when you go outside, places like Berlin, places like Costa del Sol or El Tunco, and you see all that you can pay with bitcoins and stuff. I think it's amazing for us. I think it's a big challenge for companies like our company to keep doing this in order to educate people to use bitcoins and show them a new way of doing things and a better way of doing things. And to do that, we do a lot of promotions inside our normal program. So if you decide to buy from us and pay us through Bitcoin, then we establish a way to promote something and give you an extra something that you can feel motivated to recharge your wallet and pay through that. And I think Blink is usually working very well.
Awesome. Rafael, did you want?
Education, I think education is the key. Every new technology, everything that is new needs to be learned. Like everything, including using money. You know, there was the gold standard, but before that, pre-Columbine cultures used in exchange of goods, what is known as commodity currency. So then you have to learn how to use the fiat currency, and now you have to learn and teach people to use digital currency. And it's amazing because you can use it all around the world and integrate it with everything digitally.
Yeah.
It's better that way.
What I really appreciate about Distributor and Morazan as well is that you guys are very forward thinkers, right? Like on the third or fourth visit that we had to your warehouse, there were people installing the Starlink, etc. So you're very much early adopters of new technologies, which is probably one of your best advantages operating in El Salvador and trying to innovate and trying new things. And I think the fact that you're going above and beyond just education, and I'm not saying that education is not enough, it is very, very important, and we need to continue doing that. And shout out to all the organizations that are, doing the work voluntarily to help educate people. But you decided, okay, we proposed this crazy idea to you, which is, hey, we need to align the incentives between you, the merchants, and the clients. And you immediately understood that and decided to do it. So tell us a little bit. I'd love to announce it myself, or tell people about it myself, but I'd prefer it if you explain a little bit the program that we're doing together and how it works.
Yeah, basically what we do is we educate people through our salesmen so they can use the Blink wallet. And we introduce promotions so they can feel motivated to use it. We just started in August, but we have, in some of the places in El Salvador, we had amazing response. We believe that we can do better. I think I would like to end up 2024 with at least some 800 outlets using this. Yeah. I think digitalization is key. I think as long as you said with the Starlink and all these things, as long as they keep learning how to use this platform, it's going to be easier for them. There is a lot of people that don't know the platform and don't know how to use it, or maybe they don't even use a mobile telephone well, just to speak. And I think that the big challenge is that to keep educating people using this platform. They are very happy with the results, receiving their goods, doing their business very well with us, receiving a benefit because we are giving all these promotions so they can use it. And I think we've been very successful so far, but we want more.
Awesome.
Yes, there's something that you need to understand in every country's culture. For example, in El Salvador, word of mouth is very, very effective. And people like to receive recommendation. For example, if you shoes, for example, or something like that. Hey, I bought new shoes. Okay. And then you explain why the shoes is good for your feet and so on. And then the other people gets engaged. And it's the same in everything. In El Salvador, it's very, as I said, this is a cultural thing. Word of mouth is very, very powerful. So this has the potential of a ripple effect. This has a potential of an expansion effect. So in this place, in Berlin, when people begin to talk to each other, then it's going to be in another town, in another city, and so on. So what we expect in the future, God hopes, it will rise very soon. Very soon, I mean in the following years.
And it's quite easy. I mean, we use a handheld, which is it's a system installed in a mobile phone. You come to the outlet, you show them the catalog, they see the catalog, they choose their products, and when they have selected everything, we offer the promotions for using Blink. They, if they have already recharged the wallet, they send us the payment, and it's done.
And it's very seamless. And the incentive is for now 5% discount on what they're paying for, right?
They get a 5% discount. Others get a 5% discount in product. Others get a 5% discount in price, and any of both, whatever they want, and they like it.
Which is awesome, because what you're saving in terms of efficiency is going as an incentive for the merchant to pay you in Bitcoin, and that in return, because the merchant is seeing that cost saving, will also encourage the clients, the end client, to also pay them in Bitcoin, right? So that essentially is a top-down approach to driving adoption, which we haven't really seen before in El Salvador, and you guys are really the pioneers and the first ones to do that.
Yeah, and there is something else. Once you do this, other companies will see it, will like it, and will apply it.
Exactly. And when we were in Berlin a few weeks ago to start onboarding merchants there as well, I mean, Berlin, not Germany, by the way. There is a Berlin in El Salvador. That's a little town that was probably colonized by some Germans back in the days.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. I assume the history was that. And so there's about 80 merchants in the small town that already accept Bitcoin. And so when we went around and told them about the promotion, some of them called us after. They're like, why didn't you come to my store? I want to be part of this.
Exactly.
So that's awesome, and that's exactly what you just said, which is the word of mouth kind of trickles down, and the enthusiasm of the merchants, they get it, right? And it saves them time as well, because they don't need to do all the accounting stuff, because we spent a good 30 minutes talking to one of the merchants, and the main topic that he was talking about is accounting, right? And how to reconcile the payments at the end of the month to be able to pay his taxes. So that was really, really interesting. And so now it's just a pilot program. We're starting with a few merchants in San Salvador, in the coastal area, and in Berlin. And you said you're hoping to expand it even more next year. Tell us a little bit more about what's your vision now with this program? What do you hope to achieve with it?
Yeah, for us, given the big benefits of this, we want to spend all over the country. And we want to help other companies, if necessary, to understand how it's done. Maybe they can join. And if more companies join us, it's going to be easier for the vendor to use it. And we have also a company in Guatemala, and we are going to challenge them to use it as well. I mean, Bitcoin is not a law in Guatemala yet. I hope they understand that this is the way to go and do it, as our president did. And that's why we hope that by next year, we are in around some 800 outlets already.
That's awesome. Rafael, what about you? What do you hope to achieve with this program?
Well, I think it's our intention to grow it, but education is part of this culture. So it will help us to be more efficient in our operations. As long as the expansion goes better than planned, we will have more efficiency in our company. So that's good for us.
That's phenomenal. I think we have some time to take some questions. If anybody has any, don't hesitate to raise your hand, and we'll be happy to take them. Can we get a mic for the questions?
Thank you. My name is Eric. Thank you for having me. I was wondering, do you guys pay your employees in Bitcoin? And if so, how do you operate that process?
Not yet.
Not yet. You know, the thing about paying is a choice by the employees. So our systems at this moment are displayed through the financial system because when people has indebtedness, debts are linked sometimes to your payment. So it's easier for people to get paid through the banks because they have this loan for the house or the car or something, and they get discounted those loans from their salary. But it's a personal choice. So employees who are indebted are more prone to use banks.
That's a very good point. Like I mean, in the case of people in Salvador, the law was introduced quite suddenly, and most people didn't know about Bitcoin. And still, a learning curve is steep, right? And so to expect people to be paid in Bitcoin is still quite early for that. But I don't think it's going to take long before people start asking for it themselves. I think in the next couple of years, we'll see hopefully a huge shift, especially with programs like this, where there is people that want to have this implemented and giving people the incentives. Slowly but surely, yeah, people will start demanding it, just like in the rest of the world.
A bit early, but we'll get there.
Yep. Any other questions? There's a guy in the back.
Hi, my name is David. How do you plan on integrating Lightning payments into Blink Wallet?
Sorry?
Lightning payments, working on the Lightning network, are you planning for Lightning integration?
Blink is a Lightning first wallet.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work with Blink.
On top of that, what do you think about atomic multipath payments that are programmable? Like if you have an economy going of products, you could create invoices that are specific to the products with amount of time. Like Zeus Wallet has a lifetime adjustability on their AMP payments.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, this is something that, you know, hopefully we'll get to. For now, we're still quite early, just explaining people how to send and receive payments, etc. And eventually, yeah, once it's fully integrated in their systems, then it will be fully, you know, integrated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ronnie.
Hi, I'm Ronnie. I missed the announcement, but I heard, and I want to say thank you guys. That's fantastic. But I want to know how are the vendors going to know? How can we let them know that this program is happening? How can we encourage them? I go around and ask everywhere I go, do you accept Bitcoin? I accept that Bitcoin, and I just want to know, how can we help here as a Bitcoiner so that they know that you guys are doing this and that we want to support them. Anything planned so far?
As I understood, how vendors are going to know that we are working with this program? Okay. We have the development phase, and we started with stage 1, which was these places where we are now. And our salesmen are communicating to every outlet what we are doing now and trying to educate them into downloading and recharging the Blink wallet so they can receive these benefits that we have on promotions and discounts. This is, let's say, the places where we are now, and we are receiving a very good response, yeah? And we need to sit with these guys and plan how are we going to keep developing this, fixing the bugs that we find in this program and what the places we are now, and how are we going to go forward. And we also have a website when we are going to communicate that we have this program and that the people can pay through Bitcoins. Anyway, we are receiving Bitcoins all over the country, not only in these places. In these places we are doing the program, but as a company, we receive Bitcoin in all our transactions if the people who is going to pay wants it, yeah?
Rafael, you have anything to add? No. I think also what you could do is just ask the merchant if they're working with distributor Morasan, just tell them about them. Tell them briefly about the program, and they'll reach out to them and tell them, hey, I like Bitcoin and I want to be part of this program. That's what happened, again, that's what happened in Berlin, right? We talked to 5 merchants, and then all of a sudden the sales guys were getting calls and we were getting calls like, why didn't you come to us?
Yep.
One last.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we've moved to Berlin and we're living there and we're part of the circular economy that's happening, and this is probably just more feedback and something that's exciting. One of the challenges that we noticed was a lot of the businesses wanted to cash out to cash, but the service that you guys are now offering means that they can support the circular economy, and that instead of cashing out to cash, they're now going to spend their Bitcoin with a business like yours, which is excellent. And so the service that you guys have created is a fantastic tool to our marketing in that circular economy now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope this helps a little bit, yeah?
All right, we have time for one last question. Yeah, in the front.
Amazing announcement. That's really cool. You guys are doing this. I just want to know, from a personal standpoint, are you guys using Bitcoin regularly, using the Blink wallet in your personal daily lives?
Yes, we are. Yeah, personally, yes, and Rafael as well.
A few times now, but I hope more.
Yeah, you know, when the government introduced Bitcoin, there was a big, let's say, fever, because there was a lot of money in the environment. People wanted to spend that money, and I can tell you it was around maybe 2 million people going on spending Bitcoins in a country which is 7 or 6 million people. Yeah, it's a lot. And you could go anywhere, and even in fast food restaurants, they have assigned one cashier especially to cash out with Bitcoins. Yeah, and some of the people keep doing it, keep using it, and some people needs to be re-educated and challenged to use Bitcoins. And this is why, and I want to take the opportunity to thank you, Noor and Manuel Ayala, that came to us offering us this excellent program that we believe is the future, and we are sure we are going to make grow.
Thank you. All right, thanks so much, and thank you also for your contribution for driving Bitcoin adoption in El Salvador. I think what you're doing is a great contribution, and your trust in us has been tremendous. So, and thank you everybody who's listened to this panel.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Give them a